Hi, welcome to another edition of Winning Ways. Jimbo Goodman went over to watch the racing in Dubai, and he's on a golf course with Michael de Kock today, and they're having a lot of fun. But I've got my man Dees. Dees, thanks very much for coming in to join me and running through the weekend's events.
Pleasure, Lef, and it was an awesome weekend's racing. We treated some good racing from Turfentine. Of course, they did not see out the meeting, but we did see a few of the features, especially the juveniles. It was nice to see them race. But more importantly, Dubai was fantastic.
Awesome, wonderful job. We will be speaking to James Goodman and Michael de Kock a little later in the program. So let's get on to our three to follow. Yeah, there you are. You saw the dates for that big sale coming up, the sale that stops the nation. And we've been talking to Tom Callahan all the way through, keeping us updated. You got the dates there, 27th and 28th. It's always a good sale, Dees.
Yeah, it's no doubt the #1 sale in the country. And it looks like a fantastic catalogue. And that's the place to be, busy during Easter time. So, I suggest that if you want to make your way up there, you better make your arrangements soon.
Yeah, good point, very good point. But let's go to our three to follow. And the first one we found is a horse called Like a Boss, who was debuting for the Jeff Woodruff stable over a mile. And Dees, this was a good debut.
Sensible horse, Lef. I think you picked up a good horse here because 1600 stand-side track in that type of going, it was a good debut.
Let's go and have a look at the first one we found in our three to follow. There you can see it ringed out a trap too. It gets a good break. It's a slight bump, Dees, but gets a good break. And the rider, who is Cole Zechner, Cole the Truth, gets it into the race early.
Yeah, gets into the race early. This horse looks sensible, Lef. Jumped out nicely in the Jaffe Silks.
Yeah,
that's the famous Shea Silks.
Yeah, these are Shea Silks. Brian Jaffe Silks. Nice to see that he's got another interesting horse coming along. And we'll be touching base with him in Dubai. There's no doubt he'll be over there to watch his star. But settles into third now as the speed picks up. And a horse that I think just needs a bit of experience.
Yeah, as you'd see, when he comes into the straight, moves onto that inside running rail, and Carl Zechner just, urges him along. And you'd see now that, he seems to be traveling well here, Lef. It was a very good debut over a mile. It's a stiff 1600 meters, and as you can see there, Carl just urging him along now around the corner, and it's a long straight, the stand side track, around 800 meters or so, and this horse moves up nicely now, Lef.
Yeah, runs a very good race, I agree with you. Like a Boss down the inside. The eventual runner-up is coming through. Flaming Ace is starting to put in a run, and Glorious Victory is your winner, and that is Mr. Kamalo, who's having a great run, with Sean Terry, who's also having a good run. But there they are, they're the front two. But down the inside, the horse we've found plugs on doggedly. And the front two are going to fight it out easy. But this horse stays there.
He stays on, Lef. He's certainly not disgraced. You'll see he ends up finishing, I think, fourth in the race. But one would think that with this run under the belt, Jeff Woodruff's got a lot to work with, because I don't think he was 100% ready for this race. But to step him out over a mile, they must think highly of him.
That's right. And he just tired late. So remember the name, Like a Boss. The second one we've gone to, we stay in Gauteng up in Johannesburg. Bear in mind, it's been a little difficult finding these three to follow because the rain. The rain's played havoc with racing in this province up there in Gauteng. And let's go over a look at, this was the Ruffian Stakes. It's only a listed race, but it's wonderful that you can step out these top quality horses.
First time I left racing against winners in a feature. Brilliant performance, as we'd see, because this horse does everything wrong from the word go, but we'll see in the race how the manner in which it finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. With the horse we can look at, it's an Australian horse by Reduced Choice. It's called Majmu, and Anthony Delpesh rides it for Michael de Kock. Please note the start, it gets left standing.
Now that's a jumping out of stallgate number 3, Lef, and the Ruffian Stakes, a listed race for fillies, and you can see now towards the back of the field in those famous silks, Sheikh Hamdan, Rashid Al Maktoum, and towards the back of the field. And I think at this stage, Anthony Delpesh must have been very worried.
Very worried. I think the guys who backed it as well. I think everyone is really worried. He gives it a clear run. That's why he's a great jockey. He just urges it quietly. He doesn't panic. And it runs a good race. To beat another Australian horse, Flame Cat. This is from the Michael Lazzie stable, Flame Cat. And for Adrian Van Vuren, his new owner's got the orange silks. And as Flame Cat hits the front, it starts getting a bit green under Zekna, starts running out here. But have a look at the horse, Majmu, coming up the inside.
Left. And what was most impressive is that when Anthony Delpech, he just punches this horse out the hands. You'd see from the 200-meter mark, he knew he had them. He knew he had the balance of the field, and he just punches his horse out of the hands. I think there's plenty more to come from this horse. And Australian bred, and you know, Mike stepping up some fantastic first-timers, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and this is a horse that will pencil in. The word was out. They were screaming from the rooftops. We all knew about it. And nice to see this horse make a winning debut in the Ruffian Stakes.
Yeah, 5-2 to 12-10. As Dee said, the word was out because I think Banadir was the next one. But
yes,
we had him on the 3 to follow before. Very good horse who, I think, a more than ready horse who won the next race. But let's go to our third one. We come back to our province, a wet track at Scottsville, where we picked out a horse who was runner-up behind another de Kock horse, but had the rest of the field well beaten. And the horse we found is called What About Me from the Duncan Howell stable. You'll see it with Kevin Shea up here.
Yeah, this was drawn right on the outside at Stallgate 8, and in those silks of Basil Linnington left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the outside, Kevin Shea, not a bad break, although, you know, when I was chatting to Duncan about the comments on the first time, as he said that, you know, this filly is giving a few problems at the starting stalls. It was nice to see a jump on terms, and she seems to be travelling well.
Nice and relaxed. Very good rider, Kevin Shea's got it to relax. The eventual winner is called Pine Princess, who's in the yellow, the main chance silks, yellow and black, who seems to find no running room until the race is nearly over, and it's a very impressive win by her. But have a look at the horse that we said you must follow. It's called What About Me, who beats the third horse, which is Carly, which is along its inside.
Yeah, you know, Kevin Shea moves up smartly, and the favourite looks in trouble. The odds-on favourite from the Mike de Kock yard with Samanga up on the inside there with the yellow cap looks in a lot of trouble. And yeah, I thought Kevin Shea has skipped clear at the right time. Definitely going to win the race. But the winner shows a tremendous turn of foot.
Yeah, a superb performance by the winner. And Kevin just realises here that this horse has come too quickly. Nothing's going to pester him for second. He lets it down the line, beaten by the better horse on the day. But be with this runner-up. I think maybe it's going to turn out to be all right. What About Me? So those are 3 good ones to follow, these.
Yeah, Duncan's stepped out some decent juveniles lately. We've seen likes of Spanish Cat, I think a lucky break, and this horse here, you know, he wasn't confident. The word was out for the de Kock horse, who made heavy weather of it, but did win well. I think this horse stayed on best of the rest. The third horse was somewhere back.
Absolutely. There we go. There are 3 to follow. Let's go and have a look at Blast from the Past.
Cherry on the top. Jet Bell just about ready. Nagev, and they are sent on their way in the Wilgeborst Drift. It's a Phillies classic of R1 million, and Cherry on the top has got out well. Dylan's Promise is there, and Sky Pirate at the fence. Cat's Games on the far side. Then Walking on the Moon after that fire wheel looks to get over now within 3 lengths or so of those leaders. Al Kindi is after that. Jet Bell through the back. Secret Obsession now racing. They're 7-8 lengths off the leaders or so. Do You Remember is racing in after that lot, and then Nagev who's outside a King's Temptress, and Orator's Daughters at the back of the field and racing 12 or 13 lengths off the leader. Cat's Game now picks it up on the lead and has opened up through the 1,000 by 5 lengths to Dylan's Promise, who races away in the second spot. Walking on the Moon, Cherry on the top in the yellow colours, in Mrs. Oppenheimer's colours, is at the rail and is 6 lengths off that leader. They being followed by Fire Wheel, who's in the blue just outside of them. Then Al Kindi got 6 to go, and Sky Pirate is further back. Nagev has got 7 lengths to make up, and that turns for home with Secret Obsession. Jet Bell runs behind that lot, 7-8 off the leader. Do Do You Remember? Orator's Daughter's got 8 or 9 lengths to make up. Cat's Game, homeward bound in the Wilgeborgsdrift. SA Fillies Classic leads the way, walking on the moon. Cherry on the top can wait no more, and she's hit the front now with 600 to go. And Cherry on the top says, come and catch me if you can, and leads the way by 3 or 4 lengths. Fire Wheels after that. Do You Remember's on the chase. The rider's already looking over his shoulder with 250 to go on. Cherry on the top. Do You Remember is on the chase, but Cherry on the top has got 5 lengths clear. Jet Bell is running on in the closing stages, but she's turned the Wilgeborgsdrift SA's Fillies Classic into a procession as Cherry on the top. In second, Do You Remember? Jet Bell was behind that, and Orator's Daughter has run on for 4th position. But Cherry on the top is now well on her way to the Wilgeborgsdrift.
There we are, another sparkling performance, and good filly, good trainer, good jockey.
Yeah, and then the writing was on the wall after that left. The triple tiara was on the cards.
Yeah, the Wilgeborgsdrift triple tiara. It's a wonderful series of races to win, and this horse came through. Just going through the field, these years now talking about them. Do You Remember? Top filly. Did she win the Will Avington? I know she was 3rd in the Vodacom Durban July. Jet Bell's always been a good filly. Orator's Daughter won a Group 3 last time out. Dylan's Promise won the Oaks.
All nice, all great horses. And the disappointment for Cherry on the top left for me was, you know, when she came down to KZN, and if you look back at what Do You Remember did in the Vodacom Durban July and the manner in which she disposed of that field, if she only settled and took to the conditions in the province, I think she would have just been awesome left. It's just unfortunate that, you know, she had to go back. These things happen. These things happen. Because the way she beat Do You Remember there, you know, she was really impressive, and top filly to win the triple tiara like Igugu's done. Great stuff there.
All right, let's go and have a look at our plum of the week.
And Dollar Dazzler now picks up the lead on the stand side, goes clear by 3 or 4 lengths now. Man's Eyes back in second, Stifler down the inside is Storm Rider, but Dollar Dazzler is spread eagling the field here with 150 to go. He's gone well clear, and Dollar Dazzler by 7-8 lengths. Second placing is Storm Rider down the inside, but a fluent win for Dollar Dazzler. Second to Storm Rider, Knockout Johnny, Wild Thing and Man's Eye. Then came Samigan and Stifler.
Well, there we go. He's the plum of the week, and VAR strikes again. This is a very good horse.
Very good horse, left. Promising debut, and after that debut run, looked apart in this field. We were working alongside Durbanville and Turfentine, and you told me if I want to buy some money, this is the horse to back.
Yeah. And funnily enough, we're just talking about being plum of the week. The SP on this horse was 14 to 10. It had shortened and it went out 14. People were taking 18 to 10 about this horse, and wasn't this a performance? And Klipdrift Stud, the breeders, well done to them. The plum of the week came home very lonely.
Very lonely, and you know, that looked to be a horse that you're going to play all your doubles and trebles with. And at 18 to 10 left, that's a gift.
That's a gift. Well, there we go. That's our plum of the week. We'll be back with current affairs. Right, welcome to Current Affairs. Very interesting. We had no group racing around the country. We had some listed races which Mike de Kock tucked into his wallet, but we've had 4 races we'd like to show you that have come out of Maidan, and these we will be speaking later to James to get a wrap up of these races. Him and Michael are in the car together, but it's good to see what they're doing.
Yeah, and it all leads up to the big night coming up at the end of the month, and you want to see your horses peaking at the right time, and it seems that Mike's timed it to perfection.
He sets that alarm clock, doesn't he? He's got that alarm clock set, and he's done it again. And the first one we're going to show you is going to be Shay Shay, who, as you can see, just tires a little. As Michael's left a little bit in the tank, he'll strip a fitter horse, and he had great success for us last year, and I think Brian Joffe and all his friends will be in town to watch this horse again. It's a superb racehorse. And let's go have a look at the first one. This is called the Maidan Sprint. You'll see in the first part of the race, they use another angle to give it to us. Just so that you guys know, he is dropping in the yellow color. We come to commentary in a moment because we haven't got commentary in the early part. Moving towards the outside, Christophe Soumillon, where he's taken this horse before, and the horse who beat him at Royal Ascot, he turns the tables on that here. He's very good up in Maidan.
Yeah, he's always going to be outpaced. This horse saves his best for the final 400 meters or so, and we'll listen into the commentary now, Lef.
Alsea Car, Artug, My Catch, Dutch Scholar, then Make It Royal, Roy de Vitesse. Shay Shay's come to the extreme outside in front of Soul Power, and Mundahesh was last of all. 200 metres left to go, and Shay Shay found the outside rail and surged to the front. Artug trying to go with him. Shay Shay in front of Artug. Shay Shay in front, and Shay Shay beat Artug. Duck Scholar third. Soul Power fourth, followed by Cat Call. Then Hatoto, My Catch, Roy de Vitesse beat Baby, Alsea Car, Zebros, Mundahesh, and Make It Real was last of all.
There we go, Shay Shay, and wonderful national emblem, Claverflay. I know John will be coming out, and a few of his Claverflay friends are coming out to watch on the big night, and wouldn't you just want to see it again, eh?
Last year was brilliant, and it looks like he's on track again to win on World Cup night. But, you know, I thought it'll be difficult to find a sprinter to fit the JJ, the jet plane mold, and we seem to have 1 year left, you know.
Yeah.
JJ jet plane did fantastically well for us in the sprinting ranks, of course, winning in Hong Kong for Lucky and Mike and everybody involved. But this horse is, he's been equal to the task. The fact that he's gone to the UK and also performed well there.
Absolutely, and one's got to consider, I was actually over D's at Royal Ascot for representing Teletrack, where we went over to watch him run in the King Stand Stakes, and he got beaten by Soul Power, who finishes fourth behind him here. And I think he just lacked company that day, and it was a cracking good run in the King Stands. So let's move on to the next one we're going to look at, and that is the Burj Nahar. And let's have a look at the race, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
And again he caught them in a great line. Brendan Bracken from out wide with Rutland boy Zahi, and Gabriel in the centre dropped back shortly after the break. Capital Attraction came out quickly. Vanity Club began well. He's going forward. He's going to sit second, though he's being pressured in the middle by Empire Storm. He'll keep him very wide as they settle fully into stride. Dashtaron on the fence on the inside of 4 Jat, then Gold City. Harthex 3/4 of a length away, travelling 4 deep. Then Sharuk on the outside of Ocean Tempest. 2 lengths to Zahi around Eastern Rules. 2 lengths to Van Rooney from Avon Pearl, Brendan Bracken. Gabriel second last, and Rutland Boy had dropped out to the rear. Capital Attraction took them through the first quarter in 25.6. They're running part-time. Capital Attraction, 3 parts in front of Variety Club, is now clear-cut second. Gold City went to third. Dashter on fourth. Empire Storm has dropped back. Then Harthex, Sharuk, Ocean Tempest, 4 Jat, Zahi, further back Avon Pearl, and Van Rooney at the head of the others coming around the bend. Capital Attraction under the whip, 350 to go. Variety Club lengthens now, comes after the leader. Sharuk's 3 lengths away. She's running on. Variety Club's gone to Capital Attraction. Sharuk's trying to run the South African down. Variety Club in front. Sharuk's picking him up. Sharuk's going home to better. This little lady loves the all-weather at Maidan. Sharuk wins the Burj Nahar, drawing away from Variety Club. Capital Attraction third. 4 Jat fourth, then Avon.
Well, there we go. Variety Club having his second run after a long, long layoff. Our dual horse of the year. What a very good horse he is. And Dees, again, he runs a very big race after a long break. They kept him deep early in the race and beaten by a course specialist. I think come big race day, Strip a very good horse.
Yeah, he's certainly not disgraced. He did not throw in the towel. He raced up handy. I mean, the filly, she just acted like the sniper. Barcelona, he knew what he had underneath him. And if you heard the commentary there, the one thing that I picked up is that she loves the surface left.
Yeah.
And she seems to be a course specialist, as you mentioned. And the Variety Club certainly not disgraced. We know how good he is, and he'll bounce. I'm certain he's going to bounce back on the big night.
Me too. It's a long layoff. We've seen it happen before. We saw soft falling rain need a comeback, and this was such quality. He won his comeback on the surface. He's run another cracking good race behind a course specialist. And I know the Brains Trust for Marcus Jooste with Joey Ramsden will sit down, Derek and all them, and plan the right race. And even, I suppose, with Michael de Kock's input as well. So we're going to see more of Variety Club. And again, a lot of his owners will be out there. A lot of his owners and his friends will be out there to watch him on the big night.
I think it's going to be a brilliant World Cup night if you're going over. Because, you know, just having a look at the way these horses are performing, those that haven't booked yet left, I'm sure they won't be wanting to go now, because we're going to have a lot of representation on the night, especially if you look at the horses that are coming from South Africa and Abredia.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Right, the next one we're going to look at is probably the most improved horse in Michael's yard, is Sanshawis. He did say to us he was well weighted some time back, and he has a crack at getting a hat-trick with this horse, and it runs another bold race. Let's go and have a look.
Racing in the third round, Ottoman Empire and El Lavelle a little slow to go, and Surfer goes back from the wide gate. Prince Bishop, Mudajari began well. Lamario and Joshua Tree out wide with Set Alight. Sanshawes going forward, but he's deep as they run past the judge the first time. Educate pushes through in the middle. Prince Bishop will settle on the rail midfield in front of Zambuca, Side Glance and Surfer 3 deep. Ottoman Empires poking up on the fence to keep them all wide. A length away, Catamountain, who found the rail on the inside of African Story. Alexandra Palace is second last, and El Lavelle had dropped out to the rear as they rolled past the 1400 metres mark. First 400 of the race in 25.7, and Mudajari shows the way down the back, leading by 3 parts of a length over Lamario. Surfer now runs up to be third. He's out 3 deep and he's tugging for more rain. Joshua Tree fourth on the rail. Educate poking through in the middle. 3 parts of a length to Prince Bishop on the inside of Sanshawes, tacking up behind Surfer. Zambuca's on the fence, then Side Glance, Ottoman Empire, African Story, Alexandra Palace, Catamountain, and 2.5 away is El Lavelle with 800 metres left to run and 800 left behind in 50.9. Mudajari by a neat length over Lamario. 3 parts of a length to Surfer. Joshua Tree on the fence, enjoying the run of the race. Educate niggled at. Sanshawes has been wide. Prince Bishop on the rail, needing a little luck, followed by Zambuca, Side Glance, Alexandra Palace. African Story being stoked up. There's a lot of horses in front of him. Catamountain and El Lavelle are well back. Surfer has raced up with Lamario to hit the lead past the 300 metres mark. Sanshawes running on. Prince Bishop looking for the split. He's about to get it. African Story's not in the hunt, but the Prince is. Prince Bishop has darted to the front. 100 metres left to go. He's coming away. It's round 2. It's round 3 to the Prince. Prince Bishop has beaten Sanshawes. Surfer a big run for third. Catamountain ran on. Then Side.
There we go, a very good run by Sanshawes. He's running wide all the way around, beaten by a very good horse in Prince Bishop, Dees.
Yeah, Prince Bishop and Sanshawes for most of the race, they were alongside each other. Also, Sanshawes was, as you mentioned, wider out, and they took off together. Things could have got wrong for the horse that won there, left. You know, on the inside, he needed a lot of luck in running, so yeah. He put in a great ride there, Kieran Fallon.
Yeah, very good. So another great effort by the horse Sanshawes. He's certainly paying his way, and it could be effective anywhere he goes. And the last one we're going to look at is obviously Vercingetorix, who remains unbeaten, 6 for 6. Very similar to the pattern that Soft Falling Rain did last year. I think they went 7 for 7. But having his 6th start, he looks a tighter horse there. Let's go and have a look at Vercingetorix.
Racing in the Jebel Hatter and Tan Feet from the inside, slow to go. Trade Storm going back, and Mars from his wide gate going back by design, looking for the rail. Anna Arobio came out very quickly. Vercingetorix began well. Quick Wit is a length away third. Vancouverite fourth on the inside of Mushrek, who's 1 away from the rail. A half length to El Wa, about 3 deep. A length to Tan Feet. Going forward on the inside of Linton. Then Lamore, Dimar V, who's out 3 deep as Samurai Sword moves around the outside. A break of 2 lengths to Trade Storm. Educarito is second last, and Mars poking up on the fence at the tail of the field. Anna Arobio takes them past the 1100 metres mark. They ran the first quarter in 27.3. Par is 26.4, so not a great deal of pace on. Anna Arobio by a length and a half. Vercingetorix. Quick Wit slides up on the outside. El Wab's a length away, running 4-3 deep. Mushwreck in the centre, Vancouverite on the rail, then Lamore Dimar V on the inside of Samurai Sword, followed by Linton, Tan Feet, Trade Storm, Mars, and Educarito is 2 lengths away at the tail of the field. Anna Arobio steers them onto the bend. 500 metres left to run in the Jabal Hatter. Anna Arobio's moved away from the rail. Left the fence. Vercingetorix has room on the inside, then Quick Wit, followed by Vancouverite and Mushwreck on the outside. Vercingetorix went through on the inside to join Anna Arobio, past the 200 metres mark. Vancouverite third. Tradestorm's running on out wide, but it's too late. Vercingetorix in front, and Vercingetorix is too good. Vancouverite second, Anna Arobio third, Tradestorm fourth, then Mushwreck. Educarito a good run from Mars, 10 feet.
Well, there we go. What a superb racehorse. Vercingetorix, he proved it here. He's come back from a long break too and had those 2 runs overseas. And Paddy Cosgrave, the commentator, seemed a little amazed.
I loved it. You know, he was surprised, left.
Yeah, he's moved off the fence.
Moved off the rail.
That was Paddy Cosgrave on the stablemate, Anna Arobio, who runs a very good race, a cracking third as well. But as people are saying, this horse has got a lot to look forward to.
Now, champion 3-year-old in the country, unbeaten in 6 starts, 2 from 2 in Dubai. What a wonderful story. The last time I chatted to James about it, under the mentorship of Adrian Todd, Grooms Cooperatives bought this horse as a weanling, sold to Mike de Kock for 1.4 million. And look at where the horse is today. It's a wonderful advertisement for government and the initiatives. And I'm really looking forward to this horse winning on World Cup night, left.
It'll be great.
It'll be fantastic for the Grooms Corps, left.
Yeah. Have you got your suit ready?
Yes, left.
Everything ready. Okay, there we go. Just a couple of pointers before we go to our interview with James Goodman and Mike de Kock. Let's quickly touch on the Schofields.
Yes.
Now, young Chad won a Group 1 the other day on Lankan Rupee, and it was a superb rider, wasn't favourite. And 20 minutes later, boom, up steps the old man, Glenn Schofield. Fantastic for them.
Has it ever been done before, left a Group 1 for father and son on the day? I don't know. We have to look that up. But
I'll have to look it up, yeah.
But great for the combination. And the last time Glenn was down, and we spoke about Chad, and he really thinks Chad is a young kid that'll go all the way.
Yeah,
to the
they
top.
both came back from suspensions. He won the Chipping Norton. It's a Group 1 as well. So they're both Group 1s, and he won on a horse called Boban, who beat Dundee with it's very, very good racing. And then, funnily enough, Chad didn't stop there. He's gone on and won the Adelaide Cup on Outback Joe this weekend. So he's flying.
Yeah, and you know, just chatting to Felix and Graham, I know you did a little insert on them and talking about our jockeys and coming out of the academy and flying the flag all over the world. Well, Glenn has just been a fantastic advert for us, and so was Jeff in Australia. And although Chad was not part of the academy, he's South African, left.
Oh yeah, he's one of us. Yeah, well done to him. And just before we go over, one last thing. In America, Game On Dude. Now, here's a very, very good horse. Has won the 3rd Big Cap. The Santa Anita Handicap's called the Big Cap. Has run the Santa Anita 10 furlongs. And Bob Baffert, Mark Smith teaming up. He's by Awesome again, who's a very good stallion, who's thrown a lot of top horses. So well done to them. 3 Big Caps in a row for Game On Dude. Good record. Good record,
left. And American racing, you know, sadly, we're gonna not see that feed now, left. You know, we used to get treated to a bit in the evenings.
I think we might get the major features, you know, the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown, hopefully.
Especially Cheltenham coming up around the corner, left.
Cheltenham, Royal Ascot, Dubai World Cup. Well, let's be positive and hope it works out. But that, as I said to you, let's go across and listen to our conversation with James Goodman and Mike de Kock.
The starter has the butt, pushes it. Right approach, brought up 1,000 metres, but Grand Emporium in front, too good. Asiatic Boy wins the UAE Triple Crown.
Look at that.
It's unclassic, it's another one for South Africa. Musa takes the lead from Rayhana. Soft falling rain has won the Godolphin Mile. Shay takes the lead. Shay wins the Elgo Sprint. It's Victory Moon. Comes again. Victory Moon. Ippy Tombe takes the lead and wins 2 seconds for the Dubai Duty Free. Ippy Tombe the winner.
Right, we believe we've got our friends Michael de Kock and James Goodman on the air. They're out in a car in Dubai. James, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's got you loud and clear.
Lovely. We just nice to have a chat with you guys to have a bit of a recap on what happened on Saturday night. Another very good day for South African breds and for our trainers over there. A lot of fun, James.
It was, top class. It was an evening never to forget because, Shay was different class. He looked like he's got something left in him for the big night, World Cup night, and he won a really good race. He was just absolutely brilliant.
James, was that the plans to take him towards the outside? Because he has had success doing that before.
I think that's the way, they've ridden him. They want to get him away from horses and give him a chance. And he really, his run was just superb. Horse that he beat looks like he's quite useful. And I think that Michael seems to think there's quite a bit to go in him, and World Cup night is obviously the right night for him. It was superb.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone was cheering him on. Another great winner, really top horse, and great for National Emblem and the breeders and everybody. But let's talk about Soft Falling Rain. What's the feedback?
Soft Falling Rain will run on World Cup night. Mike's got one of two options for him, but he just patently needed the run. He's a big burly horse today, beautiful. He looked absolutely magnificent, beautiful looking horse. And the big night's a night for him. I think that everyone's pretty pleased with what happened with him, and I don't think that there was much expected of him. And he was drawn very deep, which made it extremely difficult. The course was running much better, sort of towards the middle. And if you got trapped wide, you were really in big trouble.
Yeah, that's true. So good. We'll be seeing both of those two. Now, the horse that really has done well is Sanshawi's. Been outstanding, this horse. Will he get a run on the big night?
They're hoping he'll get a run on the big night. Pure guts. He's stepped up in class and got there and done it. And, he's just been another advert for the South African breds and, fantastic for the Armitages and that. And he's a revelation, this horse. Mike always said, you remember all the discussions we've had with Mike have been that this horse might be rated in the right place. He might be able to win some races. And he's been spot on, the horse has gone and done it, and that was a cracking good run.
Absolutely, we all agreed with that. And then, of course, the unbeaten Vercingetorix, another smashing performance, showing that he's going the right way. Big night as well?
Well, that brought tears to your eyes, to see a horse really go on and win 6 in a row. He's done everything they've expected, and he's a massively impressive horse. And he won extremely easily, and I just don't know. The world is his oyster, this horse. He just looks so good. I don't know if Mike can have a quick word with you. I'll hold the phone to his ear and see if he can have a quick chat to you.
Lovely. If you can put him on, it'll be great, James.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Mark. How are you, pal? Firstly, congratulations. The whole of your country, the whole of the country's been watching your success, and the breeders here have got to build a statue for you. You've done it again with Shawi's and obviously National Emblem, and of course Vercingetorix bringing Silvana to the world stage as well. So fantastic, Mark. If I can just touch on the World Cup night, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to. James has alluded to which ones will run. The ones I haven't mentioned, are there any maybe the Kavanaghs and horses like that who will get a run?
No, Kavanagh, he's done his bit, I think he's just short of that top quality World Cup night type runner. But, really, Vercingetorix, Shay, the two principals. Soft Falling Rain will be having his second run back. He was just a bit early, and he's lost that 6 furlong toe as well. So I would expect that he would run as well. Then there's, they'll be the principals, I think. Mars is another one. I thought ran a cracker. I'll be batting to get to the bottom of him. Yeah. And we'll run him in the 1.5 miles as well.
Yeah. Watching him, Mark, he seemed like he was quite keen early, Mars.
He was. I tried the blinkers on him. Possibly not the right thing, but Hughes got him settled, and he really powered home. So, I think we've got a chance with him.
Excellent, Mark. And which two pigeons have you and James lined up today?
Well, we got the Parkies are back, Cosgrove, and I think Fergal Lynch could be his partner. So we're hoping to lynch them.
Well, Mark, congratulations and well done. We'll see James soon, and keep it up. The whole country's following you.
Thanks, Lef. Yeah, you know, listen, it's fantastic for the South African breeders too. I mean, South African horses have really made their presence felt in the carnival, yeah. And you know, they can give themselves a big pat on the back.
Excellent, Michael. Thanks very, very much, and thanks to James as well. And there we are, speaking to Michael de Kock, James Goodman, letting you know what's going on with our horses, especially with just under 3 weeks' time, the big night.
The starter has the button, pushes it. Right approach, brought up 1,000 metres. But Grand Emporium in front, too good. Asiatic Boy wins the UAE Triple Crown.
Look at that.
It's unclassic. It's another one for South Africa. Musa takes the lead from Rayhana. Soft falling rain has won the Godolphin Mile. Shay takes the lead. Shay wins the Elgo Sprint. It's Victory Moon. Comes again. Victory Moon. Ipe Tombe takes the lead and wins 2 seconds for the Dubai Duty Free. Ipe Tombe the winner.
Well, there we go. Wonderful to hear from our friends overseas, D's, and they got the parkies for golf. You become a good golfer. They could put you down as a pigeon soon. You could be joining the pigeon ranks.
Left, they better have live shots if they're coming for me.
Your game's going well, golf, eh?
I know, we're just enjoying it, Left. I mean, golf is golf. You have your good days and your bad days, and we just love the game. And I know Goody and Mike, you know, as they mentioned there, they're going to play a game. There must be some fantastic golf courses there.
Yeah, there are. Everything there is really, really a great place. Your first trip this year?
My first trip this year. Really looking forward to it. Did a bit of research, and we're just chatting off air. Jennifer Lopez is going to be performing after the race meeting. It's just unbelievable, Left.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it was a year or two ago we had Santana and Elton John playing afterwards. It goes on till about 1, 2 in the morning. It's fantastic.
You haven't missed a race meeting on World Cup night, Left. You've seen before Maidan, what it used to be, what the track
Nadal Sheba.
Nadal Sheba, you were there. But what impresses me is that, you know, each year the competition gets better. We get you know, horses that are more competitive or stronger from countries coming to perform. You have to up your game, select your team, and Mike, he just keeps raising his game to the next level. Left.
Superb trainer. And the last segment before we go on to your call is going to be our slide of Let's Go Travel, this year featuring the great racehorse Museur.
Soft falling rain, the 3-year-old is coming at half thick. He's picking him up with every stride. Soft falling rain alongside half thick. He puts his head in front. Soft falling rain is drawing clear. Soft falling rain has won the Godolphin Mile. They're racing in the Derby, and Mendip a little slow to go. Seata drops back shortly after the break, and Museur is showing little or no speed and is last as they race past the judge on the first occasion. Timely Jazz going forward, Della Barber going forward, and they battle for the lead as they make the short run to the first turn. Solid Choice whipping around the outside, goes up to tackle them. Enac is fourth, the Jazz is fifth and travelling wide. A length and a half for Vezo on the inside of Mendip, 1 deep. 3/4 of a length away, Mr. Crazy Boy, who's 3 wide. A length and a half to Rayhana, 2 lengths to Frozen Power. 1 to Makana on the outside of Uncle Tom. Seata is second last, and Museur is 2 lengths away, bringing up the rear of the Derby field as they stretch out down the back of the track. 1,000 metres left to run. Solid Choice playing to the rail, led by a length and a quarter over Timely Jazz. Della Barber, 3/4 of a length away, third. A break of 2.5 lengths to a Jazz, 3/4 of a length to Enac. Then 2 lengths to Orvezzo on the inside of Mendip, followed by Rayhana. Seata's on the fence. Mr. Crazy Boy is deep. Frozen Power in the middle of that group. Trouble. Timely Jazz in trouble has dropped back through the field. Mousseur is starting a run now. Mousseur coming from the back is threading between horses. Solid Choice gone. Ijaz got to the front on the turn. 450 metres left to go. Ijaz and Willie Supple led for home. Mendip is there to challenge in the derby. Rayhana the filly on the outside, followed by Frozen Power. Mousseur's gone up behind them. Simeon's gone looking for the lead and the rail as his stable companion Rayhana hit the front, but Mousseur is starting to power now. Mousseur on the fence, gathered in the filly. Mousseur takes the lead from Rayhana. Mendip is third, and Mousseur, ridden with the confidence of a great jockey, has won the derby and won it well. Mousseur has beaten Rayhana. Mendip third, then Enoch, followed by Sayada, Frozen Power and Orveso. Then Delabava, Ijaz, further back Makana. Then came Uncle Tom, a long break to Mr. Crazy Boy. Solid Choice has come in last of all. Timely Jazz, unfortunately, has failed to complete the course.
And Johnny Murtagh, who'd been riding for that owner before, didn't come here to Meydan this year, and he's really capitalised on it. And there he is throwing his goggles to the crowd.
Winning jockey wouldn't stop talking there for a moment. He's so excited. What about you, Mike?
I don't blame him. Yeah, it's very exciting for us. Very exciting for Sheikh Mohammed, having bred both the filly and him. But as I've said before, this is a very, very good horse, and he's definitely, it's a matter of when he'll win a Group 1, you know, provided things go well, and I hope he goes very well in Australia, but he's a Group 1 horse, no doubt about it.
Well, every so often we're lucky enough to get on Winning Ways someone that's a real personality in racing and someone that's dedicated their whole life to racing. And this week we're very fortunate to be able to chat to Stephen Jupp. Stevie, nice to have you in the studio with us.
Yeah, thanks, James.
You go back a long way in this racing game.
Yeah, you and I go back a long way.
Not so much of me, this is about you.
Yes, yes.
How did it all start?
Started off in '72. I joined the Jockey Academy at Summerveld. I did my 5 years, then moved to the Transvaal where I was indentured to the Oppenheimers. Oh. And when they started to spread the horses around, I started freelancing, namely riding for Freddie Chappelle, Gene Hemming, Johnny Nicholson, Alec Usant, or you name them, I rode for them.
Stevie, just going back to how did you get to the academy? Were your parents instrumental in sending you there? What made you go there? Because in those days there wasn't really a sort of program to get you into that.
No, there wasn't. It started off, I played football for St. Joseph's under 10. Then I played for City under 14. And my parents used to visit the Kingsmead Club often. And there you had the likes of Robbie Sivrat, Charlie Behrens. They used to visit the club pretty often. And they said to my dad, send this little bloke to the academy. So that's how I ended up in the Jockey Academy.
And you'd never had any other experience with horses at all?
No.
Just a footballer?
Just a little footballer, yeah.
And you still enjoy football?
Yes, I enjoy it, yes, except, you know, you get your overseas football, which is too late at night for me, you know. Yeah. I'm an early bird.
Yeah, well, you work now in the academy as riding master, which is a fantastic job to have. And tell us about the academy now, today. How's it changed?
Well, I've done a full circle from '72 to 2012 when I joined the academy. And, you know, we got some nice youngsters coming through the ranks. We've got a few nice ones which we've sent out to other centres. And I'm hoping to someday produce a real champion jockey, and that's my aim.
Let's just talk about the kids that have gone through your hands at this stage. That kid Jose Barnes reminds me of Shorty De La Rey. I don't think you were riding at Shorty De La Rey's sort of stage, were you?
No, years before my time.
Yeah. There was Joe Burns, was another one that rode like
Joe Burns. Yeah, I think Kevin Shea was in that mix, wasn't he?
Well, I was going to ask you about Kevin Shea. Was he your type?
No, he is long before me.
And no, he's really old, isn't he?
He's much older than me.
Yeah. And he rides like he's old too. I said, put his hands up.
No, he's not bad.
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
Stevie, all right, let's go back to the beginning. Who were the jocks that you went through the academy with? Who were your boys?
It was funny enough, in my year, there are now 4 riding masters that came out of my year, which is Terence Welsh in Cape Town, Hilton Davey in Port Elizabeth, Lawrence O'Donoghue and myself at Summerveld.
And but you were the most successful jockey of all those boys?
I think so.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, you were,
and Paul Gadsby.
Yeah, Paul Gadsby. You won a championship.
Yes, I was top apprentice in 75, 76. And then I was Transvaal champion in 79.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, when you were in Gauteng, Joburg, or Transvaal as it was then, you got a job with the Oppenheimers. Was it Patrick Zurcher, Robbie Thompson, were they there?
Yeah, Robbie, yeah, he was sort of on his way out. It was mainly Toby van Booma riding for them at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Zurcher was sort of also on his way out. And Benny Little as well. Yeah, well, I basically took over from Toby van Booma.
And were you John Gorton's era, or was Breville in charge then, and then Gorton? And
no, John Gorton was in charge then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you knew John quite well?
Yes, I knew John quite well through his dad.
Yeah.
Because I used to ride a lot for his father here in Natal.
Who was that, Jackie?
Jackie Gorton. Very good trainer, top trainer.
Yeah, and a schemer apparently.
Oh, it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything was run up for 6.
Yeah. Did you ride for a few schemers in your time?
Yeah, you know, it was about a year when he actually said to me, you know, let one go. You know, everything was run up fifth, sixth. So I was getting a bit tired of this running up fifth, sixth, you know. But I was very lucky as an apprentice. So I got a lot of chances.
That Gorton family was an incredible family in the horse business, wasn't it?
Yes, I think Jackie's brother was a breeder, wasn't it? His brother a breeder?
Yeah.
Grenville
Gorton. They owned Highlands, Noreen Stud Farm, which I think became incorporated into Highlands when Graham Beck got involved.
Yes, I know Grenville Gorton. He was. Then you had Teddy Gorton.
Yeah.
He trained in Joburg.
Yeah.
And then Jackie Gorton.
Do you know what the champion stallion was? Do you remember the Drumbeat?
Oh yeah, Drumbeat. That was Grenville, wasn't it?
Yeah, Drumbeat, Grenville Gorton. Yeah.
Yeah, but probably the worst stallion I was involved with was Ribophilia. All these horses were nutcases.
Well, that seemed to be the sort of demise of the Oppenheimers at that stage. They bought Ribophilia. I remember that they were given the choice between Ribophilia and a horse called Sharpen Up. This is what Johnny Gorton told me. I was very good friends with John. And they took Ribophilia on the advice of Sava Panitza and Charlie Engelhardt. Sava Panitza was his racing manager. And he was terrible. He had one good horse, Chance Castle. Did you ride Chance Castle?
Yes, I rode Chance Castle, yeah.
Well, he was good, wasn't he?
He was good. Also had a bad temperament.
Yeah. And then they had Free Ride, I think was...
he was before Ribophilia.
Yeah. He was 2 start. They were all very big staying horses.
Staying horses, yeah. And before that was Wilwyn.
Yeah. Wilwyn was a champion, you know.
Yes,
and Janus before that. But that was even before
our time, yeah.
Stevie, okay, so you come out of your time in Joburg, you've been champion apprentice, and then cruise around there. Who do you get involved with?
I stayed in Johannesburg. I freelanced, you know, for various trainers. And then probably the last was Pat Shaw.
Yeah.
I rode a lot of winners for Pat Shaw, you know, grade races. And then I had a bad fall at the track, and I damaged my back. And I went for the first back operation, That wasn't a success. I had another back operation. That wasn't a success, and the doctor boarded me. They said no more, no more. I've had a few ops around. Now I've had the same one as, yeah, 2 back ops and a hip replacement, same as Felix.
So was the end of your career effectively as a jockey?
Yes, and I was only, that was
and you were
1996,
young.
I was 38.
38, yeah. Terrible to, you know, come to the end of your career at that stage. But in the meantime, you got married, beautiful wife.
Yes, 2 boys.
Yeah. One's a jockey, Calvert. How's he going?
Yeah, no, he's had bad luck. Yeah. He's broken 9 bones all on the left-hand side.
That's so.
Yes, and he's actually off at the moment with a broken bone called the calcaneum bone, which is the last bone in your foot, and it attaches to the Achilles tendon. So he's been off now 8 months.
Because he was very successful in Mauritius. He did very well in Mauritius, didn't he?
Mauritius, but he's looked after the money he's made.
Yeah. Yeah. And Steve, did you ever get to ride in Mauritius? Did you ever get a chance to go there?
Yes, Mauritius was, I actually went for, he was acting Prime Minister at the time, called Sir Gaiton Duval.
Oh yeah.
He was a Minister of Tourism. And I rode for him, and wherever I went to was just bodyguards. And I used to stay in any hotel I wanted to stay in. You know, eat whatever I wanted to eat, you know, and not pay a ZAC.
Yeah.
So, and then I got 3 months suspension. And when you talk about pulling up horses and all this, I got a 3-month suspension. I went for his son, Richard Duval. Yeah. And I had a go on the horse, and I couldn't win. And he buried me. He said to me, I didn't try on the horse.
And you're doing your best.
But I couldn't produce the tickets.
Yeah.
I would have won myself a good sum of money, but I couldn't produce the tickets because you weren't allowed to bet.
Yeah.
So I got 3 months suspension in Mauritius for trying.
But it's happened. It's not. You're not the only guy that's ever happened to.
No, it's happened to.
A lot of jockeys that I know that I've chatted to have not been at their best, let's say, on a horse, and got away with it many a time, and then you know, one day they get done, and they get done for a horse that you actually were doing your very best on. The horse wasn't any good.
So yeah, that was on and off stint in Mauritius.
You worked for some, in the early days, you worked for some very good trainers. Freddie Chappelle, you mentioned, he was a very good trainer, Freddie.
Very good trainer. You know, we had some good trainers. You'll know at Newmarket, when you were training at Newmarket, we had John Gordon, Harry Gallon, Jim Brady.
Yeah.
We had top trainers there, you know.
Henry
Eatwell was still there.
Yeah. Herbie Azzi.
And then
they had the best yard, Herbie Azzi, they had the best yard in Newmarket, didn't they? They had a beautiful yard.
Yes, yes.
Des Renault, I think you wrote a few winners for Des Renault as well, didn't you?
We had a lot of trainers, Meyer chefs.
Yeah, Meyer, you remember Meyer chefs?
Yes. Yep. No, it is good old days, you know, Newmarket, you know.
And when you look at it today, and you drive past there today, you can't believe it. There's a ruin of a race course.
Sad to see. Yeah. Sad to see.
But it's progress, isn't it?
Well, I don't know so much. You know, they closed Germiston, they closed Newmarket. Oh. Is it really? I actually miss those race courses.
Sure.
You know, but financially, I don't know how it works. Yeah.
How is it at the academy now? You know, the academy's gone through a metamorphosis. You've got a whole new intake. What's it like?
It's hard work. You know, we find time is a big factor there at the academy. You got your scholars and all that. You know, it takes up time.
Should we be still schooling these guys? Should we be taking them in a bit later and not putting them through school and giving them more chance to work?
We've got a few. We've got a few that are post matrics, and it seems you have a little bit more time with those type of guys than with the guys doing the matric or the grade 11s. You know, and time is a factor, but. You know, we get through our day. We get through our day.
And how have things changed since 1972? They're more disciplinarian they were in those days, weren't they?
Yes, and the bullying. I'm not one for I'm very much against bullying.
Yeah.
Because and you ask Lawrence back in our day. It's always back in our day.
Yeah.
That we used to really get hammered.
Yeah.
You know, to the extent you used to.
Who gave you the hardest time?
Yeah, and the likes of Willem Ferreira, Terence Kennedy.
Oh, Willem Ferreira was a nut.
Oh, he was total nutter.
Yeah.
You know, so and I'm very much against the bullying side of it, and
Yeah.
it's got much better. It's actually
Steve,
a pleasure.
You've gone a long way in this racing game. Do you still enjoy it?
I still enjoy it. I enjoy coming racing. I enjoy some of the people, not all the people. You know, back in Newmarket days when you were there, then you moved to Rykiesfontein. I enjoyed working it.
Yeah, with Pat Shaw was fantastic when he started. Pat Shaw started at best horse you ever rode?
Probably Tickets and Tax. He had no legs. He very unlucky not to go on a bit closer in the July. He ran fourth in the Rothmans July in those days. And then I won the Derby on him. And I was jocked off him in the Gold Cup. And I believe had I ridden him in the Gold Cup, I knew the horse.
Yeah.
I probably think I would have won the Gold Cup.
He got beaten.
Yeah, he ran third in the Gold Cup.
Johnny rode him. Johnny Girodas. Jocked you off Johnny Girodas, a bad jockey like that. Jocked you off. I can't believe it.
And I don't say that. I told Johnny. I told Johnny.
Stevie, we've got to call it a day. We've had our 15 minutes, but fantastic having you in the chair, and we wish you all the best, and hopefully you produce one real champion rider there. Is there anyone that we can think of?
Offhand, I don't like to single out the kids, but I'm pretty fair.
Yeah.
You know, I treat all of them the same.
Give them all a full
the same.
Been fantastic having you, and all the best, Stevie.
Thanks.
And
Thanks,
the
James.
Jockeys Academy and the future of horse racing. These guys actually do all the work in racing. They produce the guys. They're the backroom boys, and it's fantastic to be able to have Stephen Jupp. We've been mates for a very, very long time, and most impressive. Lovely having him here. From me, James Goodman, and the whole Winning Ways crew, hope you have a great week's racing.